Sup, YouTube? This is Big D and Shade.
Yo.
And welcome to Takoyaki Bites. This is where we're going to give our opinions on one show this season and
Give you some bite-sized information on what we think of different shows that we are watching throughout the season. Next on my list, I have Food Wars. I see you laughing. I know why you're laughing, too. It's a good show.
gotta catch up. Well,
I really love that show. They still have the same... Trust me, there are people who have that same reaction when biting into food. It happens, but to me it's ridiculous. And see, this is one of those things like when we were watching I don't know what it was. We were saying how they were over the top, etchy, and a lot of stuff. Like, see, they were trying to be serious.
Yeah.
They were trying to be serious. This ain't trying to be serious. This knows it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's just gonna just continue with that. But there's a lot of dynamics to it, and there's a lot of like good relationships and everything. And it's I don't know. Ironically enough, it seems to me like a very heartfelt story, because even though you have the main character who's kind of full of himself, in a lot of ways he has the right to be full of himself because he does some amazing things with food. Oddly enough as that sounds, he does some amazing things with food. But he does... the longer I see him, the more I feel like he does... It's not so much that he's being pompous or being an ass to people on purpose. It's more or less, he has that relationship where he's like, I'm gonna, if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. And I will try and help you as much as I can so long as I understand what you're trying to do and what you're going through. And I feel like it's something that I want to help with. So, he has a nice personality to it. It's just... He's a little abrasive. As I think you've seen from the first episode, he's just a little abrasive. But it's just one of those things he doesn't understand. People don't always understand him. But he already has a rival in there. A lot of people are his rival, but I can at least think of one specific that is his rival. And he's constantly having to, I guess, more or less defend himself, I guess you could say, because people are always just kind of taking the wrong way in what he does and how he does it. But again, it's a quirky little anime. It's not necessarily something that people have not seen before, because a lot of the things that they do in it, you're like, okay, yep. Saw that coming, know that coming. But it's still interesting and entertaining in its own right. And I will have to say, it's definitely one of those. You might be wise in waiting for a little while to watch that one, because I've tried to limit myself to 2 episodes. I have to wait till 2 episodes to come out before I watch them. And even now, it's like the last episode I watch, I'm like, oh, God, I want to see the next one. They told him at 10 p.m. last night, the night before, they have to make a breakfast dish by 6 a.m. next morning that would be good enough to sell at the hotel that they're in right now for 200 people.
Whoa.
You have to have 200 people come and eat your dish and approve of your dish. And they put like all sorts of people in there, like old people, young people, people who worked at the hotel. So you run the gambit, and like people who gave them the ingredients to cook and everything. So you run the gambit of everybody who's there. And it's like they showed the and a lot of people that you would have expected, like, okay, they're gonna kind of fail, they're gonna, or at least they're not gonna do as well, or they're struggling. And like they were doing great. They were amazing. And like each one of them had already like passed the 200 servings. And they're like, okay, we're good. But like he was only at 10 servings.
Oh.
Yeah. So and they ended it right there with everyone looking at him and looking at the amount of empty plates he had, going, oh wow, he only has 10 servings having eaten so far. And they're like, next episode. I'm like, no! What? No! Don't give me that! He had a dark look on his face, too. Like, he was like, oh, crap. And you're like, no! Something's gotta happen. Something's gotta happen, because there's 24 episodes. Something's gotta happen. But you're like, no! It's intriguing, and it captures your attention. Not for every... I'll say this. Unlike Kekai Sensen and Insaya, where there's like probably a large group of people who could watch that and appreciate it for what it is, Food Wars, I don't think there's probably nearly as many people who could watch that for over a long period of time and appreciate it for what it is. But it's still, for those of you who will latch onto it, you're really going to latch onto it, because it's something really, really interesting, and it really captures your attention. So So that's all I have on that. And here again, it's it's very interesting. I'm highly enjoying it, and it's 24 episodes. They're only up to 12, so it's going to be carrying on into the next season. So I'm highly forward to seeing what they do with that.
Cool. All right, and that's been Takoyaki Bites, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.